Ferrari may have a much bigger problem than Lewis Hamilton missing the podium in Belgium. During the pit stop meant to rescue his damaged race, the release light turned green while a mechanic was still working in front of the car. Hamilton accelerated, the mechanic was knocked to the ground, and the crucial front wing adjustment was never completed. Now every second of that stop matters, because one question could decide whether this was a frightening mistake, a serious safety failure, or something that demands official action. But there is one important detail. The available source confirms the incident, not a formal investigation by the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile. And what really happened inside that Ferrari pit box could place the team under enormous pressure. Ferrari's problem did not begin when the mechanic hit the ground. It began several seconds earlier, when the team tried to solve too many problems in one stop. Hamilton entered the pit lane with a damaged front wing, a 5-second penalty, and a car he had already described as difficult to turn. Ferrari needed to serve the penalty, change the tires, and adjust the front wing before sending him back into the race. On paper, the plan was simple. In reality, every extra task added another point of failure. The car stopped. The penalty was served. The mechanics moved into position. One crew member remained near the front right side of the Ferrari, using a pneumatic tool to change the front wing height. That adjustment mattered because the earlier contact with George Russell had damaged the wing and changed the way the car responded in corners. Hamilton needed more than fresh tires. He needed the front of the car to start obeying him again. Then the release light turned green. For Hamilton, that signal meant the stop was complete. It meant the path was clear. It meant leave now. So he accelerated. But the mechanic was still there. He had not completed the adjustment, and he had not moved safely away from the car. The Ferrari surged forward and knocked him down. Hamilton immediately asked whether the mechanic was all right. That reaction revealed how little warning he had. From inside a Formula One cockpit, a driver cannot clearly see every person around the front wheels. The car sits low. The bodywork blocks much of the view. The protective structure around the driver's head limits what can be seen at the sides. That is why the release system is so important. The driver depends on it. Red means stay still. Green means go. Hamilton saw green. And this is where Ferrari's situation becomes much more serious than a normal slow pit stop. A slow stop costs time. An unsafe release can put a person in danger. The available source confirms that the mechanic was knocked down and later reported to be all right. It also confirms that Hamilton defended his reaction by saying the light was green. But that answer does not remove the central question. Why was the light green while a mechanic was still working? That is the detail Ferrari must explain. Because a pit stop is built around coordination. Every mechanic has a job. Every movement is rehearsed. The person controlling the release must know that the tires are secure, the tools are clear, and every crew member has moved out of danger. Only then should the car leave. Imagine an airport control tower clearing a plane for takeoff while a worker is still standing in front of it. The pilot may follow the instruction correctly, but the instruction should never have been given. That is why the responsibility cannot be reduced to the moment Hamilton pressed the accelerator. The more important issue is the system behind the signal. Was the front wing mechanic's task missed? Did someone believe the adjustment was already complete? Was the release triggered automatically before the crew member had cleared the car? Or did pressure inside the pit box cause one person to make the decision too early? The source does not provide that answer. And that uncertainty is exactly what makes the incident so damaging for Ferrari. The team cannot simply point to the green light and move on. The green light is the evidence that something inside the process failed. Hamilton followed the signal. The mechanic trusted the normal pit stop procedure. Yet both were placed in a dangerous situation. One moved because the system told him to move. The other remained because his work was not finished. Two correct reactions collided because the coordination between them broke down. But there was another consequence, and it was not immediately visible. The mechanic never completed the front wing adjustment. Hamilton returned to the circuit with the handling problem still affecting the car. So Ferrari lost twice. First, the team created a safety incident inside its own pit box. Then it failed to complete the technical change that the stop was designed to achieve. That sounds like one chaotic moment. It was actually two separate failures happening at the same time. And both can be traced back to the same decision. The car was released too early. This is why the incident carries such serious pressure. Formula One teams operate in an environment where every second matters, but safety cannot become another item on the stopwatch. A crew may be trained to work in less time than it takes most people to fasten a seat belt. That speed is impressive, but it only works when every movement is controlled. Remove that control and speed becomes danger. Ferrari knew Hamilton's race was already slipping away. The collision with Russell had damaged the car. The 5-second penalty had made the stop more complicated. The virtual safety car had created a valuable opportunity. The team wanted to use that window before it disappeared. That urgency helps explain the pressure. It does not excuse the failure. And there is one more reason Ferrari cannot treat this as an isolated mistake. The incident happened while the team was trying to recover from another problem. Hamilton's damaged wing had already made the car difficult to turn. The pit stop was supposed to contain the damage. It is that the incident created exactly the kind of question that demands close examination. And Ferrari knew the images would be difficult to ignore. A Formula One car may travel slowly inside the pit lane compared with the circuit, but it still carries enormous force. Mechanics stand only inches away. They trust the driver to follow the signal. The driver trusts the team to give the correct signal. That trust is the foundation of every stop. When it fails, the danger becomes immediate. The mechanic was reported to be all right. That is the most important outcome. But safety systems cannot be judged only by whether someone escaped injury. A near miss is still a warning. Sometimes it is the clearest warning a team will ever receive. Ferrari had been fortunate. The car could have struck the mechanic differently. He could have fallen under the wheel. Another crew member could have been caught in the movement. The incident could have become far more serious than a damaged race. That possibility is why the event cannot be dismissed as simple confusion. The consequences were limited. The failure was not. And Hamilton's reaction revealed the tension immediately. He asked whether the mechanic was safe. Then he made clear that the light had been green. Those two responses tell the whole story from the cockpit. First came concern. Then came the need to explain why he had moved. Hamilton was not claiming he had seen the mechanic and chosen to accelerate anyway. He was saying the system instructed him to leave. That places the attention back on Ferrari's process. And the team's problem becomes even more uncomfortable when the sporting outcome is considered. The early release did not save time. It did not complete the repair. It did not improve Hamilton's car. Instead, it created danger and sent him back onto the track with the adjustment unfinished. Ferrari took the risk without receiving the benefit. That is the worst possible exchange. The team had tried to recover from the collision with Russell. Instead, the pit stop made the consequences harder to escape. Hamilton was still fighting the damaged front end. He was still losing confidence through the corners. He was still dealing with Ferrari's existing weakness on the straights. And now the team had a safety incident hanging over the race. Yet Hamilton continued. He began finding ways to manage the car. He kept himself close enough to benefit if another driver encountered trouble. And that opportunity eventually appeared. Oscar Piastri was also carrying damage after contact with Leclerc. With 4 laps remaining, Hamilton closed in. This was not the clean fight he had expected at the start of the weekend. Both cars had problems. Both drivers were trying to protect performance that had already been compromised. But Hamilton found a way past. He moved into 4th place. That result showed how much he had rescued. It also showed how close Ferrari had come to something better. One more position would have placed Hamilton on the podium. One position. After the penalty. After the damaged wing. After the failed adjustment. After the pit lane incident. That small gap made every earlier failure feel larger. Because Ferrari did not need a perfect race to reach the podium. It only needed the chain of problems to be slightly less damaging. A clean opening lap might have been enough. A completed wing adjustment might have been enough. A correctly timed release might have been enough. But Ferrari did not get any of those moments back. And now the team faced 2 separate consequences. Hamilton had lost the podium. Ferrari had lost control of the story. The race result could be explained through damage and penalties. The pit lane incident demanded a deeper answer. Not because the mechanic was seriously injured. He was not. But because the system designed to protect him failed at the exact moment it mattered. The green light should have meant safety. Instead, it became the trigger for danger. And until Ferrari can explain how that happened, the most serious question from Belgium remains open.